everybody, it's Tiffany from The Organized Option, and I'm here today to tell you all about our 12 by 12 storage options. These are ideal for sorting, storing, organizing, traveling with, creating project packs, all the things that you need to do with your 12 by 12 craft supplies. So in our 12 by 12 dimension, we have 4 products. We have the 12 by 12 File Master. We have the 12 by 12 Paper Handle-It. We have the 12 by 12 Flip Flap Tab Divider Pockets, and we have the 12 by 12 Fancy Folio. Now, the 12 by 12 pockets fit inside the File Master. A set of 5 of them actually comes with the File Master. The Fancy Folio is going, and they also fit in the Paper Handle-It as well. The 12 by 12 Fancy Folio also going to fit in the Paper Handle-It and in the File Master. So all of these products work together, and you are going to love having all of them working together when you are sorting, storing, organizing, planning, all the things you're doing with your 12 by 12 craft supplies. So let's go through a few basics first. So most common question I get from people are, do these 2 items fit in a calyx or cube style storage? And the answer is yes, they do. With the Paper Handle-It, we have given you the option, you can see these slits on the front, to move the handles so they pull out the front rather than pulling out from the top, which is really handy if you're using cube storage, to have those to pull it off the front, right? So they both fit easily in the cube style storage. Let's talk about all the things that you can do and all the products you can store using these different tools. So I'm going to go to my overhead real quickly here, and you can take a peek. I'm going to get this out of the way a little bit. Take a peek at all the different uses for the pocket. So the 12 by 12 flip flap pockets, they have the flap on the top. It's got the little locking tab there. You can use this, you can cut this off. If you don't like a flap at the top, you can tuck it in, or you can use it to keep your stuff safe and secure. So this is the 12 by 12 pocket, and you can see I've used this to store a dozen 12 by 12 long border stamps, right? Here's a little tip for you as well. You can see when I flip this over, I put the label on both sides. So whenever you are creating labels for something, if you can label on both sides, that's great. When I made these, I actually cut 3 of each, and you're going to see what I did with that extra one in just a minute. So great for big oversized stamps or a collection of like these border stamps. This pocket is a perfect place to store things by theme. So you can see I've got paper and stickers and embellishments all in one pocket. So whatever theme you're working with, you're going to be able to grab that theme in particular. They're awesome for stencils. So you can see I've got stencils, and I've got stencils on both sides. I did use the packaging from this stencil to separate the 2. This creates a little bit of a lip, which makes it easy to pull that stencil in and out so that the little cutouts on the stencil don't get hung up on the stencil in front of it. So if you're putting multiple stencils, and you can probably put up to 5 stencils in each pocket, separate them with a sheet of paper. You'll be really glad that you did that. Great for scraps, of course. So if you're sorting in the 4-section system, these are all blue scraps. This would be in your blue paper section, but super simple, super easy. You've got vinyl sheets. If you're buying 12 by 12 vinyl sheets to work with your Cricut, they're going to store in there perfectly. And then last but not least, well, not last, there's one more, but this is what I call fancy, right? So if you have die cut papers or glitter papers or vellum papers or something that needs extra protection, you are going to love the 12 by 12 pockets for that specific purpose. And then of course, they also work great just for storing 12 by 12 paper. So you can see the paper ends here, the pocket ends here. You've got extra space, top and bottom, left and right, which makes it really, really easy to slide those pockets, those papers in and out of the pocket. So you've got that little bit of extra space in the pockets, right? So then, and then they're just so easy to use, so easy to see. Everything's visible, everything's accessible, and everything is protected. So you're going to love the 12 by 12 flip flat tab divider pockets. And again, they work in the 12 by 12 fab file, and they're also going to work in the 12 by 12, or sorry, the 12 by 12 File Master, and they're also going to work in the 12 by 12 Paper Handle-It. Next up, we have our 12 by 12 Fancy Folio. And so this has a slash pocket on the inside. It's got 3 gusseted pockets with locking tabs on the inside. Now these will gusset out to almost a full inch. And you'll notice there are 2 tabs that this can lock into. So if you have less things in the pocket and it's flatter, you're going to use the lower notch. If you have it really bulked out, then you're going to use that top notch to lock that flap down, right? So you've got 3 gusseted pockets on the inside, a slash pocket, and then both the front and the back have another pocket, right, on them. The middle is going to work like a file folder, right? So you've got this extra space in the middle. When you put your 12 by 12 paper there, close it up. You've got the labeling tab here. Now you've created a file folder. So whether you're organizing projects, themes, sentiments, whatever it is, in one pocket, you're going to be able to label it and see everything clearly and easily. Now, the one question people are always asking me is how many of these will fit in your file master or in your Handle-It? And that totally depends on how fat they are. So obviously, thinner, you're going to get more in. Fatter, you're going to get less in. You've got 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches, and 2 3/4 inches, I think, on those. So as fat as that is, that you're going to be able to fit them in there. Generally, somewhere between 2 and 3 are going to fit in each one of those. Again, just depends how fat they are. Let's take a look, though, at this one loaded up so you can really see. I'll go back to overhead. So I do have a piece of 12 by 12 paper in here. You can see I've got that cut out there at the top, so it's easy to pull that paper in and out. And then on the inside, I've got all different travel supplies, right? So I've got bulky things in here. I've got a pile of chipboard embellishments here. I've got long embellishments here, different things here, sticker sheets, but everything is going to fit in there so nicely and so neatly. You're just going to love working with these fancy folios. The other thing, so this is all travel, right? But it's generic travel. This is not generic, I guess that's specific, but in general, it's generic travel. And then I'm going to add the tab divider pockets, France, Japan, Mexico, right? So depending on how many of these you have and how loaded they are, they're either going to fit in the middle and you are going to have a file folder of all those things, or you might just be using one of your 12 by 12 paper handlets or one of your file masters, in which case you could take these out of the center section and drop them into your file master, your paper handler, handle it. And now you've got everything organized right there for travel. Add a label to the front. And you know me, I've got my label made up here. So this, and I was just able to use, some of the goodies from my stash here. I'm going to use my creative connector tool. I'm just going to put that label right there. And now I've got this beautifully labeled box that I can take with me, so I can take it off the shelf. I can take it to a crop, class, event, just by pulling up those handles and carrying along. And it has everything in there that I need for that theme, holiday, event, however I'm organizing those things. So the fancy folio, here's another one. We'll flip back to the overhead, is really great for organizing things. So this is a whole kit. And you can really see when I open this up how much stuff I've got in each pocket. I mean, this is no, lightweight thing. These are bulky embellishments, dimensional embellishments. I mean, look at this pocket here, right? I've got stickers in there. I've got 2 different kinds of stickers, actually, right? I've got all these, I've got stamps. I've got, dimensional embellishments, stickers, all kinds of goodies, and they're just going to tuck right into this big pocket right here in the front. And now I've got the paper from this collection in the middle. I've got more things here. I've got some of the papers that I've used and cut up, the scraps for those paper, but everything, more scraps here on the back, but everything nice and neat and tidy. This whole collection of products, just easy to access, label. So whether you're storing things together in kits or in projects, this is a great way. The fancy folios, you are going to absolutely love them for that. And then this function as a file folder is awesome as well. So when I pop that into my paper handlet, it's just perfect in there. And I've got one more here. This one is, again, just for color. So this is all yellow, right? So you've got yellow papers, printed and patterned papers, 8.5 by 11, 12 by 12 in the middle. The scraps divided up by size in the pockets and the inside. So if I'm working with something and I want to have yellow paper, it's going to be really, really easy for me to just grab this fancy folio and take it with me to the table, wherever. When I'm done working on a project, this is one of the greatest things. I've got this with everything in it. When I'm done with my project, any of the scraps that are left on the table, I'm just going to clean those up and put them into my fancy folio. Whether it's Christmas scraps or travel scraps or colored scraps, everything is going to be together in one nice, neat place. So when I pull that folio out, I'm going to have everything together, super easy, really easy to find, easy to use, which is really the key, right? If you're trying to get organized and make life easier so that you can have more fun crafting, these are great solutions for those organization situations. So the 12 by 12 file master, you're going to be able to fit the fancy folios, no problem. You're also going to be able to fit the 12 by 12 flip-flap pockets, fit perfectly in there. So depending on how you like to store things, you've got a locking tab here. So nothing's going anywhere in the file masters, right? So if you want to keep your supplies open and more accessible, or maybe you live somewhere where it's dusty, or you travel all the time with your supplies, or you probably have a combination of both, right? Most of us have that combination. We work at home. We work not only in our craft room, but we might take something and go to the TV room and work on it, or we're going to a craft event. So a variety of file masters and paper handlets are going to be the perfect way to sort, store, organize all of your 12 by 12 products, but also a great way to organize and coordinate things like projects. If you're working on, Christmas cards, you have all the bits and pieces for the Christmas cards that you're going to be making multiples of over and over. Put them in one fancy folio and you're ready to go. If you're planning a trip, if you're going on vacation, take a fancy folio in your suitcase and load it up with all the bits and pieces of memorabilia. So when you get home, you can just have it ready to go when you're ready to scrapbook that trip or event. Same thing if you're planning a wedding or you're doing a home remodel. So many different ways that you're going to absolutely love working with the fancy folios and the 12 by 12 flip-flap pockets, especially when you combine them in the file master and in the 12 by 12 paper handlet. So if you're looking for the great solutions for organizing your 12 by 12 supplies, look no further. It's the organized option file master, the organized option paper handlet, our 12 by 12 pockets, and our 12 by 12 fancy folios. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.